Alright guys, here are 10 harsh realities about women that most men learn too late. If you're easily triggered, feel free to click off now. This might be tough to hear, but it's the truth that many men ignore, only to realize too late in the game. Let's dive in and talk about these truths that can make a huge difference in your life and relationships. Number 1, you'll be used for what you lead with. The first impression you make can often set the tone for how a woman perceives you, and this perception is largely influenced by what you put forward at the beginning. Women, just like everyone else, are naturally inclined to assess the signals you send and judge your value based on what they see. The way you present yourself isn't just about your appearance, it's about the vibe, the energy, and the attributes you lead with. If you choose to lead with wealth, status, or material success, then that's exactly what you'll be seen as, a source of material benefits. In this case, she'll likely focus on what you can provide for her financially or socially, rather than who you truly are as a person. The connection will be based on surface level attraction, and you'll be reduced to your financial standing or social position, which might not last in the long run. However, if you choose to lead with authenticity, by being genuine and confident in who you are, you'll create a different kind of dynamic. When you bring your true self to the table, your values, your character, and your passions, she will begin to see and appreciate you for who you are beneath the surface. She'll be drawn to your personality, your integrity, and the confidence that comes with being real, not just the external things you may possess. Leading with authenticity builds trust and depth, whereas flaunting wealth or superficial status is often fleeting and temporary. The most meaningful connections are rooted in realness because they are built on mutual respect and understanding. When you're true to yourself, the respect and attraction you earn will be far more enduring and fulfilling than any external appearance of success. Quick break, guys. For those of you asking about the course, it's no longer available. You're late, and that's just how it is. But for those of you who are serious about stepping up and taking control, I've created a one-on-one chat with me. Choose your package and let's solve any problem you're facing, whether it's crushing your goals or handling that conversation with a girl. Number 2, she will run over you if you let her. One of the most critical aspects of any relationship is the balance of power and respect. If you fail to assert your own strength and establish clear boundaries from the start, you risk losing your footing and allowing her to dominate the dynamic. In a healthy relationship, both partners need to respect one another's values, needs, and individuality. However, if you don't take charge and stand firm in your principles, it becomes far too easy for her to lose respect for you, even if she doesn't do so consciously. Women, like men, are instinctively drawn to strength and decisiveness. This doesn't mean being aggressive or controlling, but rather showing confidence in who you are and what you stand for. When you come across as needy, constantly clingy, or overly dependent on her for validation, you're signaling weakness, something that rarely inspires attraction or respect. In fact, women will often begin to pull away when they sense too much dependence. It's a natural instinct to be repelled by neediness because it undermines the fundamental dynamic of the relationship, which should be based on mutual respect, not one person constantly trying to seek reassurance from the other. Weakness has never been an asset in survival, and it's certainly not something that's valued in relationships today. If you let her take control or make all the decisions, it will quickly erode the balance of power. Over time, she will start to see you as less of an equal partner and more of someone who's easily manipulated. Relationships thrive when there's a strong foundation of mutual respect and trust, and that foundation begins with you maintaining your sense of self. You don't have to be domineering or authoritarian, but you do need to stand your ground when it comes to your values, your opinions, and your personal boundaries. If you allow her to take charge too often, or if you allow her to push you around, you're not just risking the loss of respect, you're also undermining the relationship itself. Assert yourself, set those boundaries, and never lose sight of who you are. If you do this, she'll respect you for it, and the relationship will have a much stronger, more balanced foundation. Number 3, nice guys finish last. This might be one of the hardest truths for many men to accept, but it's a reality that's impossible to ignore. Women, at least at some point in their lives, are often drawn to the bad boy type. The idea of a bad boy isn't just about being rebellious or rude. It's about embodying a certain level of confidence, unpredictability, and emotional unavailability that many women find compelling. Nice guys, the ones who are always polite, considerate, and willing to do anything to please, often get overlooked or even taken for granted. It's not that women don't value kindness or respect, it's that kindness alone isn't enough to create the kind of attraction that leads to a lasting relationship. Women are wired to seek out a man who embodies both strength and emotional depth. Nice guys, despite their good intentions, can sometimes come across as lacking the necessary edge, the assertiveness, or the sense of direction that women crave in a partner. When you're always agreeable, never challenging her, or standing firm in your beliefs, it's easy to slip into the role of a pushover, and women can start to see you as weak or overly dependent. They may even lose respect for you, seeing you more as a friend than a potential partner. Attraction, especially romantic attraction, isn't just about being nice. It's about the full spectrum of qualities that make someone a strong, capable individual. Women want men who can stand up for themselves, who know what they want in life, and who aren't afraid to assert their boundaries. If you're constantly seeking approval or bending over backward to please her, you may inadvertently signal that you lack the self-assurance and inner strength that many women find attractive. What women often seek is a man who knows his worth, who is confident enough to demand respect, not one who is begging for it. Number 4. Most women lack empathy for men. This reality stems from deep-rooted societal conditioning that has shaped how both men and women view emotions and vulnerability. For generations, men have been taught to man up, to suppress their emotions, and to shoulder their struggles quietly without showing weakness. Society often enforces the idea that men must be strong, stoic, and unshakable, which leads many men to hide their vulnerabilities and emotional needs. As a result, when men do experience emotional turmoil or difficulties, they are often expected to simply deal with it on their own. This leaves many men feeling isolated, without the support or understanding they need to navigate their struggles. For women, this societal messaging means that they often see men as emotionally invulnerable or incapable of experiencing the same depth of emotional pain that women might experience. They may view men as tough, unflappable, and always in control, which makes it harder for them to empathize when men are going through difficult times. Women are generally raised to be more in tune with their emotions and are more encouraged to express vulnerability, which can make it harder for them to understand or connect with a man who is conditioned to keep his emotions under wraps. It's important to note, however, that this lack of empathy is not rooted in malice or indifference. Many women do care deeply about their partner's emotional well-being, but because of the way their emotional compass has been shaped, often by cultural expectations, they may struggle to connect with the emotional experiences of men in a meaningful way. For women, empathy tends to be more easily given when they see their partners openly expressing vulnerability or sharing their emotional needs. When men, however, remain silent or internalize their emotions, it can leave women feeling disconnected or unsure of how to provide the support they might instinctively want to offer. Moreover, because women are more accustomed to being the ones who express and seek emotional support, they may not always know how to engage when a man withdraws or doesn't open up about his struggles. This dynamic can create a disconnect where men feel misunderstood or emotionally unsupported, and women may feel helpless, not knowing how to break through the walls that have been built around their partner's emotions. The key to bridging this gap is understanding that emotional support should be a two-way street. Men need to feel safe enough to express their vulnerabilities, while women must be open to acknowledging and validating the emotional experiences of men, even when they're not expressed in the same way. When both partners are willing to recognize and address the emotional needs of each other, a deeper sense of empathy can be cultivated, leading to a stronger and more emotionally fulfilling relationship. Number 5. Most women like emotionally unavailable men. This is one of those paradoxes that many men find hard to comprehend, yet it's a reality that plays out in countless relationships. You might wonder why women often seem drawn to men who are emotionally distant, closed off, or difficult to get close to. It doesn't seem logical, and it certainly doesn't feel fair, especially if you are a man who offers openness, emotional connection, and consistent attention. But there's a reason for this dynamic, and it's rooted in deep psychological attraction. At the core of this attraction is the simple fact that women, like many people, are often drawn to what they can't have, the challenge and the excitement that comes with pursuing something or someone that's just out of reach. This is a primal instinct. We're naturally wired to desire things that are elusive or difficult to obtain. For many women, a man who is emotionally unavailable represents a challenge, an obstacle they want to conquer. It's not about a lack of interest in emotional connection, but more about the thrill of the chase. Women often experience a sense of excitement and mystery when a man is not constantly available or eager for their attention. The unpredictability of his emotions creates an allure that keeps her guessing, which in turn fuels her desire to engage more. The idea of the forbidden fruit is also incredibly powerful in romantic attraction. There's something undeniably enticing about a man who isn't immediately accessible, whose emotions aren't easily deciphered. This creates an aura of mystery, an emotional barrier that makes him seem more desirable. Women can become intrigued by what they don't fully understand or can't have on demand. The lack of emotional availability doesn't equate to a lack of attraction, but rather a dynamic that keeps them on their toes, wondering whether they can break through his walls. This sense of intrigue can often be more compelling than a man who is overly eager or always available. Additionally, an emotionally unavailable man can signal strength and independence, qualities that are deeply attractive to many women. When a man doesn't immediately show his vulnerability or isn't constantly seeking reassurance, it may suggest that he is emotionally self-sufficient and stable, making him seem more secure and in control. There's a certain level of respect that can come with knowing a man is not swayed by every emotional whim, and this can intensify the attraction. However, it's important to note that this dynamic can be a double-edged sword. While the emotional unavailability creates an exciting pursuit, it can also lead to frustration and confusion over time. If the emotional distance becomes too pronounced, or if it prevents a real, meaningful connection from forming, it can backfire, leaving both parties feeling unsatisfied. The key is balance, being emotionally available and vulnerable, while also maintaining a sense of self, mystery, and emotional independence. Number 6. She will constantly test you. It's a subtle dynamic, but it's real. Women often test men, even if they're not fully aware they're doing it. These tests aren't about manipulation or playing games. They are simply part of how women assess a potential partner. The reasons behind these tests are multifaceted. She wants to evaluate your compatibility, trustworthiness, confidence, interest, and ability to maintain healthy boundaries. It's a way for her to measure how well you handle challenges, how you manage stress, and whether you stay true to your principles when things get difficult. These tests can take many forms. Perhaps she challenges you in a discussion, pushes your buttons to see how you react, or tests your commitment in small ways. In many cases, women may be looking for reassurance or simply checking if you can maintain composure when things aren't going smoothly. While this can feel frustrating or confusing at times, it's important to understand that it's not a game. It's part of her process of determining whether you're the right person for her. What she's really trying to see is whether you have the strength, emotional stability, and consistency to handle the ups and downs of a relationship. Passing these tests doesn't require you to be perfect. It means showing that you can handle challenges with confidence and assertiveness while still being considerate of her needs. If you can keep your cool, maintain your boundaries, and stay authentic to who you are without getting defensive or too eager to please, you'll demonstrate that you have the qualities she's seeking in a partner. These tests are designed to ensure that you're a strong, reliable match, and if you're able to meet them with grace, you'll build a deeper connection with her. Number 7. Security is everything to women. This is one of the most fundamental desires that drives a woman's attraction to a man, and it's often overlooked. No matter how independent or self-sufficient a woman may seem, deep down, security remains a crucial need. Women want to feel safe, both emotionally and physically, and they seek partners who can provide that sense of safety. This security can take many forms, but at its core, it's about feeling that the man in her life can protect, support, and provide stability in both the good and bad times. This includes financial security, knowing that their partner can contribute to the practical aspects of life, like finances, home stability, and future planning. But it goes beyond that. Emotional security is just as important. A woman wants to feel that her emotions and needs are respected, that she can trust her partner to be there for her when she needs support, and that her vulnerabilities are safe with him. Physical protection is another aspect, whether it's simply knowing that her partner will look out for her well-being in potentially risky situations, or offering a sense of protection and care in the more mundane moments of life. Even if a woman is fiercely independent and capable in her own right, there's a part of her that craves this security from a partner. It's not about needing someone to take care of her, but about wanting a partner who can offer stability and assurance in a world that can sometimes feel unpredictable. Women may express their independence and self-sufficiency, but in their hearts, they want to know that their partner can be their rock, someone they can rely on when things get tough. If you can provide her with this sense of security, if you can make her feel safe, supported, and protected in all aspects of life, you'll earn her trust and deepen the connection between you. Women may talk about independence, but when it comes to relationships, the desire for security is a powerful and enduring factor that can shape the foundation of her attraction to you. Number 8. Physical desirability is crucial to her. In today's society, there's an enormous emphasis placed on physical beauty, especially for women. From a young age, women are bombarded with societal standards and expectations that define beauty based on appearance, whether it's through media, advertisements, or social circles. This constant pressure leads many women to focus heavily on their looks, and unfortunately, it often becomes tied to their self-worth. When society constantly tells women that their value is tied to how they look, it creates deep insecurities, making them hyper-aware of every detail of their physical appearance. Whether it's the way their body looks, their facial features, or their style, women are constantly measuring themselves against these unrealistic standards. While many women may not openly admit it, physical desirability is a significant part of their self-esteem. When a woman feels attractive and confident in her appearance, it boosts her overall sense of self-worth, influencing how she interacts with others, including men. Conversely, if she doesn't feel good about how she looks, it can deeply affect her confidence and even how she engages in relationships. She might feel self-conscious or disconnected, and this insecurity can subtly impact how she relates to her partner. It's essential to understand that women are not just concerned with how they look in the eyes of others, they are deeply affected by how they perceive themselves. A woman who feels desirable and attractive is often more emotionally open, more confident in her relationship, and more comfortable in her own skin. When a man acknowledges and affirms her physical desirability in a thoughtful way, it can significantly improve her sense of self-esteem, ultimately strengthening the bond between you. Number 9. Attention is a woman's biggest currency. Attention is one of the most powerful currencies in a woman's world, whether it's being sought through obvious or subtle means. Women thrive on being noticed, admired, and appreciated, not in a superficial way, but in a way that makes them feel seen and valued. This isn't about constant validation or flattery, but rather about feeling like they matter, that they are important to someone, and that they are worthy of love and affection. For many women, attention is integral to their self-esteem and emotional well-being. When a woman receives attention from her partner, whether through genuine compliments, small gestures, or simply being present and engaged in the moment, it significantly boosts her self-worth. It reinforces the feeling that she's cherished, understood, and emotionally supported. These moments of attentiveness not only make her feel valued, but also contribute to a deeper emotional connection between partners. When she's fishing for validation, it's often not about needing praise. It's about wanting reassurance that she is loved and appreciated for who she is, rather than just how she looks or what she can do. If you give her the attention she craves, you're not just making her feel special in the moment, you're reinforcing her sense of self-worth and building a more profound bond. Men often underestimate the power of showing consistent, sincere attention. It's more than just words. It's about showing up for her emotionally and making her feel like she truly matters. Number 10. Her sex drive won't match yours long term. One of the most common misunderstandings in relationships is the difference in sex drive between men and women, especially as time passes. Biologically, it's generally true that men have a higher sex drive than women, particularly in the long term. During the early stages of a relationship, the so-called honeymoon phase, sex is often more frequent, fueled by the excitement of new love and the physical chemistry between partners. The passion and novelty create a heightened sense of desire, which can sometimes make it feel like the physical intimacy will last forever. However, as relationships settle into routine, the novelty fades, and emotional intimacy tends to take precedence over physical intimacy. This natural shift doesn't necessarily mean that she's less attracted to you or doesn't love you. It's simply the way many relationships evolve over time. For women, emotional connection often becomes more important than physical closeness as the relationship deepens. When the rush of newness wears off, they may be less focused on sex and more interested in nurturing the emotional bond and creating a deeper connection with their partner. Understanding this shift is crucial for maintaining a healthy relationship. It's important to communicate openly about your needs and desires, while also being patient and attuned to hers. Finding a balance between emotional intimacy and physical affection can help both partners feel fulfilled in the relationship long term. Recognizing that the frequency of sex may naturally fluctuate over time can reduce frustration and foster a more balanced, understanding dynamic between you and your partner. If you found this video helpful, be sure to subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.